So what we're going to talk about is just how important your words are and how impactful they can be on other people, good or bad. I always find it interesting when I see something in someone and, they've been in the business however long, a month or 2 months or 6 months or whatever, and I've seen potential in them and I've seen their desire and they seem to be doing everything right. But then for whatever reason, it's, they kind of stop or things aren't happening like I feel like they should be with their numbers. And so sometimes people just need to believe in themselves. And you got to think about this. If your entire life you are told, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that. Who do you think you are? You don't deserve this, you don't deserve that. You don't have the personality. You could never be good in that. If that is all you've ever heard, that's what you buy into. That's what you believe. That's who you become. And so you have to learn to recognize that in people. That is it that they're not doing something right, or that they just don't believe in themselves. You kind of have to distinguish those differences. And I know for me, when I'm with someone, I can tell by their eye contact for sure. That's the first thing. If they can't make eye contact with me, or even for very long, maybe they look and they look away and they look away, or they just can't look hardly at all, that's a huge sign in low self-belief. Excuse me. All right. Also, if they just say things to you like, I want it, I just don't know, I'm just kind of scared to talk to them. What if they say no, and then what? And if they get really down from just 1 or 2 rejections, that's a really good sign that they have not had a lot of self-belief, that they do not like rejection. People who have a low self-esteem, self-belief, they cannot hardly handle rejection. And so one way that you can build them up is with your words. And I'm going to give you an example. I met with a gal just last week. And she pretty much said, I could tell she had no self-belief, but I knew she had potential. And, I said to her, when I saw you, you lit up the room. You lit up the room. And it was true. You only say things that you mean, of course. So I was very sincere in everything I said. You lit up the room. When you walked in, I'm like, who is that? Like, your smile is contagious. You've got a loving heart. I can feel it. You're a caring person. You're well put together. What is missing is you do not believe that you deserve this. You don't believe that you can have it. You don't believe, you just don't believe this is for you. You can see Sonia Dudley in that position, but you can't see Susie Smith in that position. Let me just tell you that that was a very powerful meeting with her, because when I left, I felt like I'd given her the belief that she could hang on. Now, you got to remember, it took 30 or 40 years for her she didn't believe in herself for whatever reason. Maybe she just lacked some mentorship, some leadership. But for years, maybe it took, and I'm not necessarily saying the person I was with didn't believe in themselves their whole lives. But I can tell you, for the most part, for someone who has a very low self-belief, just because you tell them for 15, 20 minutes how much you believe in them, how much you see in them, that that they can do this, they deserve it, it's theirs for the taking, that doesn't mean that it's done. It took all those years to become that way, for them to buy into that. It's who molded them. your 15 minutes to an hour is not going to fix it. So what you have to do with that person is you have to hold their hand, and you have to say, now I want you to go talk to 3 people this week about plexus, if that's, if that's the business they're in. And this is what I want you to say, and I want you to let me know how it goes. And, you can have this, you can own this, this is yours. And if that person plays ball with you and the next day they throw the ball back to you, and that's exactly what happened. She has thrown the ball back to me every day since that conversation. And she sends me texts, she calls me, tells me what great things are happening. And I say, that is awesome. You're amazing. I told you you could do this. You deserve it. You're a great person. You are, I just reaffirm everything I believe in that person. And I can just see the molding taking place, see the journey. And that's the kind of person that I would say it's totally like not a waste of my time to mentor and mold someone like that. There's nothing more rewarding at all than watching that person bloom into the person that God intended them to be. It's the people that drain your energy over and over and over again, and you have give and give and give, and nothing is happening still. And that's telling me that they're not taking what you give them. They're so far low self-esteem that even when you spend 30 minutes building them up, they either live with someone that's tearing them right back down, or they tear themselves right back down right away. They don't do any self improvement on their own. People like that need to be reading books on self-esteem, improving their self-esteem, getting over fear, just believing in themselves. And if they don't do some of that, it's going to be hard for them to change a 20, 30, 40, 50-year habit and beliefs just overnight. So your words are they're very powerful, and it doesn't cost you a thing to give those words that are in your heart about someone to them. It's free. So give them out, because it's the most powerful thing, most powerful investment on your behalf that you can do that can change a life, truly can change a life. Our products and our business are the best, no doubt about it. But to change someone's belief in themselves, they can do so much more with what we have to offer if they change what they believe about themselves. And I've seen it over and over and over happen. It's my favorite part of this life journey, is to watch people change who they are into who they know they could be deep down, buried really deep down. It's truly a blessing. So look at your team, figure out who that person is or who those people are, and maybe start changing how you work with them, what you say to them. And if they play ball back and you see positive changes, then you're probably on the right track with them. Every day will not be rosy. Just because they're improving, every day won't be rosy. They take a lot of molding. And so hope this helps you a little bit, and have a great day.